Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host, and today we're stepping into the harsh, soul-shaking world of The House of the Dead by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This isn't just a novel, it's a window into one of the darkest periods of the author's life and a profound reflection on suffering, humanity, and redemption. Based on Dostoevsky's own years spent in a Siberian prison camp after being sentenced for political crimes, this semi-autobiographical work is raw, observant, and deeply moving. Let's walk through it together, so you'll feel like you've read it cover to cover. The story is told through the eyes of Alexander Goryanchikov, a nobleman convicted of murdering his wife and sentenced to 10 years in a Siberian labor camp. Through this fictional lens, Dostoevsky gives voice to his own experiences, his humiliations, revelations, and encounters with people society had written off as hopeless. The novel doesn't unfold like a traditional plot. Instead, it flows as a series of portraits, memories, and reflections, almost like a journal kept by a man trying to make sense of life in a place designed to strip people of their identity. We're immediately struck by the brutal contrast between Alexander's previous life of privilege and the dehumanizing conditions of the prison. Everything is regimented, from the way the prisoners eat, sleep, and march, to the daily indignities inflicted by guards and fellow inmates alike. But while the external world is bleak, what truly defines the story is what happens internally for the narrator and for the men around him. The novel introduces us to an astonishing cast of characters. Thieves, murderers, political dissidents, peasants, each one with a story, and each one a study in contradictions. There's a man who committed terrible crimes, yet shows moments of great tenderness. There are others who appear calm and polite, but conceal boiling violence just beneath the surface. Alexander watches them all, quietly cataloging their quirks, their codes of honor, their moral justifications, and the way they adapt or fail to adapt to prison life. Dostoevsky gives special attention to the relationships between inmates, showing how hierarchy, cruelty, and camaraderie all coexist in a strange balance. Prisoners bond over small joys, cooking a stolen potato, hearing news from the outside, or simply sharing laughter over a crude joke. And yet, that same night, a fistfight might break out over something petty or symbolic. The environment is charged with volatility, and trust is a luxury no one can fully afford. Despite all the brutality, what emerges most powerfully is a meditation on the resilience of the human spirit. Alexander is broken down physically and emotionally, but he never stops observing, never stops thinking. The camp becomes a kind of crucible, burning away illusions, but also revealing moments of unexpected grace. A fellow inmate who shares his last crust of bread. A guard who shows mercy when no one else does. A memory from the outside world that keeps someone going through the worst of Siberian winters. The writing often returns to the question, what makes a man human, even when everything human is taken away? Dostoevsky doesn't give a simple answer. He explores faith, morality, guilt, and redemption with relentless honesty. The narrator struggles with the weight of his crime, with the idea of punishment as justice, and with the strange truth that even in a place designed to erase him, he still feels, still hopes, still wonders if he can change. As the years pass, we see Alexander grow, not just older, but more compassionate, more understanding of suffering in all its forms. He watches men die, men lose their minds, and others find strange kinds of freedom within captivity. And in the end, when his sentence is finally complete, he doesn't celebrate with triumph. He walks away with a quiet, almost reverent understanding of life's fragility and complexity. The House of the Dead isn't an easy read, but it's a vital one. It reminds us that people are never just their crimes or their circumstances. That dignity can persist even in chains. That every soul, no matter how lost, has a story worth hearing. Thank you for tuning in to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. If this glimpse into Dostoevsky's world of suffering and survival moved you, be sure to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy reading. And remember, even in the darkest places, humanity endures.